like this.
It's the onions I'm peeling.
You started bawling the minute you heard about my orders to General Hook.
Well, to tell the truth, Dan, it's not you I'm worried about. It's Josh and Gabe. They're so helpless.
They're gonna handle things all right. The way you're carrying on, you'd think they'd come a cropper trying to get in out of the rain.
Hey! All right, Gabe, it's not that funny.
What happened?
He ran into one of Becky's hanging flower pots.
Let me take a look at that. Becky, have you got anything for this?
Careful.
Here,
What is it?
bear jowl.
Oh, thank you, Becky.
It's not to eat. It's for the eye.
Oh, Josh.
Well, what in tarnation she carrying on for?
She's got some kind of female idea that you two are kind of helpless on your own.
Helpless.
Well, I keep trying to convince her. I know you two will be able to handle that Yorktown mission on your own.
Well, certainly. Me and Gabe by ourselves?
I just got orders to join General Hook. But the plan is still kind of simple. This is Fort Tony. That's the strongest fort in the British defense. That prevents the French forces under General Rochambeau from joining Washington's forces, who are located about right here.
Well, is this Rochambeau, whoever's he aiming to take that fort?
He has to, but he's under strength, and there's at least a regiment of redcoats here. Now, if we can get our hands on the plans of Fort Tony, General Rochambeau is convinced that a handful of men can take the fort.
Well, where are we supposed to find these plans?
And the head of the man that designed the fort, Sir Samuel Tony. We have information that he's arriving by boat, the Albion, in Yorktown in about 3 days. You get Tony and deliver him to General Rochambeau.
Sounds pretty simple.
Yeah.
All right, say the whole thing back to me.
We go to Yorktown, then we meet this boat, the Albatross.
The Albion.
Right. And then we wait for this fellow, Sir Samuel, to come off. And we follow him to wherever he's going, and we just bushwhack him, that's all.
You got any idea what this fellow who built the fort's gonna look like, Boone?
If he's one of them thinkers, he probably looks like all his bread ain't quite done.
Did you ever meet a thinker, Josh?
Yeah, met one Salem one time. He used to stuff hoot owls. He stuffed so many of them, he started looking like them. We ain't gonna have no trouble finding this fella.
Yeah, I know I can count on you.
We'll handle it just like we handled it when we saved that Shawnee chief squaw and stopped that massacre at Salt Lake. Take care of yourself. Hear down?
See you later, Boone.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with an eye like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was he. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man. He was brave, he was fearless, and as tough as a mighty oak tree. From the coonskin cap on the top of Old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. Daniel Boone.
Letitia, my dear, I do believe I've spotted a pink-bellied plover.
Father, you are staring at the feather on my hat.
Oh, nonsense, my dear. That's no migratory feather.
Are you sure that's Tony?
He sure looks dang bad enough to be one of them science fellas.
Ah, what an exotic country.
The boat has been docked for 20 minutes and we are still waiting for our escort.
What more did you expect from Captain Prissy?
Percy, Father. His name is Percy, and he is no longer a captain, having been promoted to the commandant of Yorktown.
Small wonder that we're losing the colonies.
Oh, Father, I know that you find Percy insufferable, but please, we are engaged to be married.
Well, I'll try not to hold that against you.
Father, I beg of you, please keep your political opinions to yourself.
Well,
to yourself.
Yes, my dear. I trust you'll forgive our delay, Sir Samuel.
Burdens of state, no doubt.
Yes, I had to personally convince Magua, a chieftain of the Iroquois, to join our cause as my chief scout.
Did you succeed?
With the promise to have him personally knighted by the king.
Oh,
Letitia, you look fit.
do I? Is it against military regulations for you to kiss me, Percy? I shall cherish that forever.
You must be exhausted after your crossing, Sir Samuel.
See, Sir Samuel, I told you he's the one.
I'm afraid the house I've commandeered for you is no peach and manor, but it is the most comfortable in your club.
I'm sure it will do nicely.
I must have room for a laboratory.
Still trying to outdo Isaac Newton, Sir Samuel?
And I still intend to prove that his so-called second law of mechanics is a fraud, according to my own serious belief.
Father, I'm sure that Colonel Berkeley has other concerns at the moment. Come along.
Poole, stay here and see that the luggage follows immediately. The Nelson House on Threadneedle Street.
Let's go.
Very careful with that luggage. I hope they don't think a touch of gout will keep me, Sir Samuel Tawney, from visiting his fort.
Yes, come in.
Father?
Oh, did the post come?
Note from Percy, accepting our invitation to dine with us this evening.
Was that a courier?
No, Father. Oh, I do hope you like the suckling pig.
Ha! I have it. The ratio has to be 7 to 1.
Yes, Father.
Oh, yes, that's it. The tube has to be 7 times as long as the rocket head. Oh, I can't wait to tell General Washington.
General Washington.
Letitia, I must pledge you to complete secrecy. You've long known my feelings about the War of Independence.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Well, I've written to the American commander offering myself and my rocket head in the cause of liberty. I expect a reply any day now from the general.
Oh, Father, Mama told me what difficulty you had with Euclid at Cambridge.
Euclid and Cicero in an age of science. Small wonder England is governed by fops who quote Latin.
Well, I do hope you like the suckling pig.
As your husband or dinner?
Where do you think you're going?
We've been invited to supper.
You have you? They must be his lord and ladyship we've been expecting. I'll be off with you before I give you a good clout.
Come here. We're gonna have roast pig and biscuits. I should have known better to trust a thickhead like you.
Who you calling a thickhead?
You big fat tub of lard.
Well, you little pipsqueak. I got a good mind to break you clean in half.
You think you can do it?
I do.
Hey, now, hold it. You've had your fun. Now move on.
Move. Game, go.
The tradesman's entrance is at the rear.
What do you want here?
We came here to grease the axles on the carriage.
Ain't you noticed him squeaking a lot lately?
And if you do any more squeaking, we're gonna grease your gullet. Now, how do I get to Sir Samuel? How do I get to Sir Samuel? Excuse me, sir, but you're my prisoner. Did you hear me?
Oh, you can put that ridiculous blunderbuss away, laddie. You're perfectly safe here. When does General Washington want to see me?
You mean you knew we was coming to get you, Sir Samuel?
It might be prudent to use my code name, Centurion. We're surrounded by those still loyal to the crown, you know.
Whatever you call yourself, we better get out of here before them sentries wake up.
Oh, well, it'll take me a moment to pack my models.
Father, Colonel Berkeley will be here in a few moments.
Be right down, dear.
The British colonel? We can't leave now. If he finds them sentries, we won't get out of Yorktown. You better go on down. I got some business to take care of.
Guard, tell Lady Peacham that Colonel Berkeley has arrived.
Yes, sir.
Lady Peacham, Colonel Berkeley's out here.
You want to meet the dead man? What's your name, soldier?
Tarbox, Andrew Tarbox, sir.
Just look at that uniform. You're a disgrace to your regiment. Put this man on report.
Tacky. Very tacky.
How do I look?
Tacky. Very tacky.
Where in heaven's name is James?
That's me, ma'am.
You?
Well, what I mean is that, his mom took sick sudden like, and I'm taking his place. I'm Gabe. Your guest are in the library.
Oh, very well then. Please see to dinner.
Come here. Just how long do you suppose we can get away with this?
Long enough to get them through supper. Now, you just keep that grub coming fast, you hear?
What grub are you talking about?
The stuff you're gonna serve them.
Me?
Well, you're the butler, ain't you?
What do I know about butling?
There ain't nothing to know. You serve from the right, you take away from the... Or do you serve from the left and... It don't matter. Just keep the food coming fast until we can get that dingbat Sir Samuel out of there, you hear?
What are you going to be doing?
Well, I'll think of something. Well, get in there and start bottling.
I trust you find your quarters comfortable, Patricia.
Oh, yes. You've been so generous, Percy. But is it really necessary for me to be accompanied by one of your redcoats each time that I stir from the house?
My dear, you underestimate the treachery of these colonists. They would not hesitate to assault an Englishwoman if it served their ends.
They are savages, ma'am.
Because they choose to fight for their independence?
Well, surely, Sir Samuel. You are not suggesting they're schooled enough in the art of politics to govern themselves.
I have observed, Colonel, that those nations that make a muddle of their own affairs regard this as a divine qualification to administer the affairs of others.
Are you speaking of England, sir?
Oh,
Well, who are you?
I'm the new butler.
Well, what happened to James?
His mom's ailing.
Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. But sugar, until you got begat, he was just practicing. My. I could just stand here and feast my eyes. What's your name, sugar?
Gabe.
Well, you can call me Maybelle.
You're kind of restful on the eyes yourself, Maybelle.
You trying to sweet talk me, honey?
I was working up to it kind of slow like.
I'm going to throw you a few cautions. Now, I am the cook, and you are the butler. And being cook, I am the monarch of the cuisine.
Cuisine?
That's kitchen to you, boy. And every time you enter that door, you enter into Maybelle's kingdom.
Oh.
Now, as butler, you are entitled to a few respects.
I am?
Ain't you ever buttled before?
Little. Upriver.
Yeah, must have been way up. Now, you just get in there and tell them supper's ready.
Rub's on.
Gentlemen, shall we go into dinner?
Yes, yes, of course.
Father, you promised to behave this evening.
Just casting a few pearls of wisdom before I roast pig.
Here, see that her ladyship is served first.
How's it going? Must have been easier at Bunker Hill. I gotta serve this soup.
We ain't got time for soup. What do you mean, we? They's eating it.
You are talking to the monarch of the cuisine, and that's kitchen to you.
What I meant to say was, do you think it'll go with roast pig?
My soup a la Maybelle goes with anything. Here, take it inside and serve it.
A little magpie with a white beak, and it had a broken leg, so I took a branch and made a little crutch for it. Just as I fixed it up, along came its mother and pecked my scalp. Terrifying experience.
Father, was there another occasion with another sort of bird?
Oh, I've met all sorts of birds in my time, dear.
Very interesting, Sir Samuel. Very.
Gabriel, haven't we forgotten the wine?
No, that was stupid of me, wasn't it?
A new servant, Letitia?
Yes, Father. You must know how very difficult it is to keep servants these days.
I forgot the wine.
Sugar, you're one big, beautiful hunk of man, but as a butler, you ain't gonna amount to nothing. Now, my pig is getting cold, so take it on in there so it'll be ready for you.
And hurry.
In my judgment, sir, freedom cannot be bargained with, nor can it be bestowed as an act of charity.
Sir Samuel, to one unaware of your kinship to the king, your remarks could easily be misconstrued as seditious.
Then so be it.
Gabriel, the wine, please.
Ooh.
Oh!
You clumsy oaf!
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
What are you doing, you madman? Stop that at once!
Spuckers, can I be of any help, sir?
What are you doing away from your post?
No, I must remind you that this is not a regimental barracks, and I will ask you to apologize to Gabriel.
Colonel Barclay apologized to a menial.
He don't have to apologize, ma'am.
If there is an ounce of gentlemanliness in you, you will apologize to Gabriel at once.
You have that.
What?
We better get out of here.
There's something peculiar going on here.
No. The only thing that's peculiar that's going on here, Percy, is that you are behaving like a pompous popinjay.
Because I've been treated to an abominable dinner, had wine spilled over me, and had to listen to your father's inflammatory remarks about the crown.
I've heard enough.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh. Perhaps Father is right about this stupid war.
If we weren't engaged to be married, Letitia, I'd consider that an affront to my position as commandant of Yorktown.
Oh, bother your position.
What did you say?
I said that I think you are ludicrous.
Now, come on, because we gotta hurry.
Well, I won't take a moment. I've just got to pack a few things. Oh, I promised the General my plan for my submersible.
You must be distraught, my dear. Perhaps tomorrow you'll come to your senses. Boole, fetch my cape.
You come back here, Gabe.
What the blazes? What's the meaning of this, Boole?
I don't know, sir.
Summon the sentries. Perhaps you can shed some light on this, Letitia.
No, I have no idea, really.
Josh, they're on to us.
Let's get out of here. Guard! Guard! The guards have been done in, sir. It's a rebel plot.
Sir Samuel. For Tawny. Powder? Just as I thought. What do you make of this pool?
Looks to me, sir, like a design for some sort of inhuman weapon.
Precisely my deduction. Have you drawn any conclusion?
I hesitate to say, sir.
Forget that I'm engaged to Samuel's daughter. I invite you to speak frankly, Lieutenant.
Well, it would seem to me, sir, that the occupant of this laboratory is in league with the rebels.
Are you insinuating that my father is a traitor?
This isn't snuff, Letitia.
Oh, that's preposterous.
Is it? How else am I to comprehend his insults to the crown?
Well, I will admit that father had reservations about the war.
What am I to make of the powder?
He was an amateur scientist, Percy. You've always known that.
And these designs for new weapons?
They were stolen directly from the notebooks of Leonardo da Vinci.
And this? A map showing Fort Tawny, one of the strongest redoubts in the British defense?
Well, I don't know about that unless...
Unless what, Letitia?
Father did say that he was in correspondence with...
With whom, Letitia?
No, I don't think that I should tell you, Percy.
I demand to know.
No, I don't trust you, Percy. You've already indicted father for treason. There's no reason to suspect that the truth would alter your opinion at all.
Letitia, if you think that our engagement will influence my judgment as an officer of the Crown, you are mistaken.
Percy, with the possible exception of having chosen me as your fiancé, you have never shown very good judgment.
I warn you, Letitia.
Are you going to put my father in chains?
It saddens me, but I must place duty before love.
Oh.
You ain't aiming to go back far. You torture her.
The man that's gonna marry her?
That's the torture.
Listen, we got just enough time to get out of here before old Percy organizes a search party.
Gentlemen, my mind is made up.
How long's it been since you was scalped by an Iroquois, and that's who's after us?
Gentlemen, I feel your reports of the noble savage have been grossly exaggerated. Treat him with kindness, and he is but a child of nature.
His Majesty will pay much firewater for Sir Samuel's return, Magua.
Magua buy own firewater. Fat paleface very important to you. How much gold you pay?
10 sovereigns, then. But he must not be harmed. I want him brought here for questioning.
Magua no get scalp. Then you must pay more.
You'll get your scalps. Sir Samuel was traveling with 2 Americans, one white, the other black.
Black scalp best kind. Make Magua a tall man in tribe.
somewhat snippy out tonight. Good night for a bit of cheer, I'd say.
Cheers!
Yes. Yes. Who is it?
Take you to your father. You got a minute to get dressed.
God! 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 Oh!
They can't hear you, ma'am, and I ain't got no time to waste.
How dare you break into here? I shall see to it that Colonel Barkley. Oh!
Ma'am, I ain't got no time to waste. We got a trip to make.
How dare you put me down? What do you do? Put me down. Oh! Oh, Father, how could you?
The price of liberty, my dear.
Liberty? For these savages?
Letitia, that was unkind. Gentlemen, you must forgive my daughter. She is distraught.
As soon as we get down the road a ways and get some beans and bear grease in her, she'll get over that distraught. What happened?
My ankle.
Well, it don't seem like it's broke. I mean, it may be sprained a little, but I think you'll be able to get along on it without any trouble at all. It don't seem like it. You know something? You do have pretty ankles.
I should have known that rock couldn't possibly put a dent in your backward skull.
You know something else? You got pretty hair, too.
Oh.
Now then, are you gonna come along easy? Here, am I gonna have to tote you?
Where? What?
You know what? Come here.
What are you doing?
Young lady, we are getting hitched.
I am not a squaw. Please
Know
take
that?
that off of my waist. Oh. Just who do you think?
Come here.
Oh! Uh-huh.
Oh, careful of that, Gabriel. It contains my models and the plans for my gyro catapult and submersible that I promised to take to General Washington.
Oh, Father, how long do you plan to continue this ridiculous charade?
Charade, my dear, with my inventions, Washington will snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
Come here.
Oh, where are you going?
Got something to check on. Ah, good. Still here.
Oh, what is that?
That is canoe. And that is what's going to take us upriver.
Oh, how quaint.
We're going to get about an hour's sleep, and then we're going to move out.
You think that I'm going to sleep with this rope tied to you?
That won't be too hard. Just count bears.
Do you mean those black furry beasts the one sees in the zoological gardens?
That's it. Don't worry about it. The first one you see, just tug on the vine. I sleep real light.
Would you mind awfully if I stayed close by?
Child, I'm going to protect you like you was kin.
Oh.
White footprints mean woman in pale-face party.
Wouldn't the lady's shoe tell you that?
Ma'am, you always sleep like that?
Oh, like this. Well, only when I'm very weary. It's very relaxing, you see.
Mm-hmm. Sir Samuel. Sir, Your Lordship. It's that time. Go on, Gabe.
Oh. Hark! The melancholy whimperings of a mother osprey calling to its young.
That ain't no osprey. That's an Iroquois. Get the canoe, Gabe. Here.
Woodpeckers, perchance? I'm exhausted. Can't we rest a minute?
All right. We'll rest for a little bit. We still got a long way to go.
Where is Gabriel going?
I don't know. He's backtracking a little bit, I guess.
Oh, don't you think that we should be moving on? I do think so.
Well, if you don't mind, your father said he'd like to rest just a little. Snow in July?
She's been leaving a trail for them to follow.
Well, Did you expect an English maid to strike the colors?
The plans of my gyro catapult.
I'm a patient man, but...
Well, Gabe, look, just leave it to me. Have I ever steered you wrong?
Every time I see you.
Oh, wait a minute. As I recall, the last time we was on a mission without Daniel and got in trouble, you were the leader.
You're gonna lead this one, huh?
Correct. I am the leader, and that makes you
the leadie.
Right.
And I say, either we forget about that fort or we take her down to the river and drown her.
No. Father, you wouldn't let them.
At this moment, Letitia, I would gladly scatter lilacs on your watery grave.
Oh.
Come on. Here. Well, you gotta eat something. Go on, it's good.
Thank you. You're very upset with me, aren't you?
No. I guess order, babe, but I ain't. I just don't think you realize what an important man your father is.
And I just don't think you realize what a horrible mistake you're making. My father is a child. And those silly experiments of his are his toys.
Yes, well, you see, it all derives from Newton's third law of motion. The mass and velocity of the rocket equals the mass and velocity of the exhaust. The head of the rocket is filled with an incendiary mixture, and the gases produced by the explosion try to expand in all directions. And since they cannot escape because of the walls of the tube itself runs away and leaves them behind. It's quite simple.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yes. Well, it's been very stimulating talking to you, Gabriel. I can see you're a man of vision.
Josh.
You know, that's the first time you've called me Josh.
I've been very foolish, haven't I?
Well, if you think I'm going to argue with you about that, you're wrong, your ladyship.
Oh, please. Please don't call me your ladyship. Call me Tisha.
I'm getting to you, ain't I?
Yeah. Josh, when I ran away, why were you so sure that I would come back?
Oh, I figured that little bash on the head was a pure sign of affection, kind of a love tap. I think it's only fair to warn you that I got quite a way with the ladies. They don't call me the Kentucky Killer for nothing.
I can see that. Oh, it's gotten chilly, hasn't it?
A little bit.
There's a shawl in my bag. Would you be good enough to get it for me?
Sure.
Thank you. And I know how to use it.
I ought to drown you like Gabe said.
Never mind that, just get up. Now, don't you try anything funny, because...
Magua come to get scalp, not to lose it.
These are preposterous. How dare you abandon pursuit of Sir Samuel when you were under orders to capture him and bring him here for questioning?
We were outnumbered, sir.
By 3 men and Lady Peacham?
By a sizable concentration of troop strength and cannon.
Cannon?
Much boom boom. Night sky like daylight.
Apparently field practice with some new type weapons, sir. We saw it with our own eyes. It was frightening.
Huh.
Sir Samuel's inventions.
It would seem, Colonel, to be a more monstrous plot than even you at first suspected.
Where did you come upon Sir Samuel's party?
Well, at a point approximately midway between Fort Tony and Yorktown. Here, sir.
Uh-huh. The meeting ground for Rochambeau's French army and General Washington's forces. Lieutenant, saddle my fastest horse. I must bring this to the attention of General Partridge at once.
Much boom boom.
No, no, I cannot go another step.
Go.
Whoa! This is you one step from glory. That is the promised land, your lordship. We're liable to wind up with enough medals to scare horses. Come on!
Oh, poor simpleton.
Oh, I am overjoyed to see you. You must be Boone.
No, you got the wrong man, General.
Oh, welcome, mon ami.
I'm Gabe. And I'm Clements.
Oh, where is Daniel Boone?
Oh, he had to report to General Hooks, but he figured you'd rest easy knowing that everything is in the hands of Josh Clements. That's your man right over there, General.
As my prisoner, Sir Samuel, you'll be accorded every civility.
Prisoner? Who is this foreigner? I demand to see General Washington.
Well, now hold on just a minute there, your lordship. He's planning on seeing Washington. Well, you know, the general here, he ain't just homegrown. I mean, you might loosen up with him a little bit.
Well, I'm not used to dealing with subordinates. However, these are trying times. Unhappily, some of my models and plans were damaged en route. However, I managed to salvage the plan for my submersible, as I described in my correspondence. It is hand-driven with a screw propeller and goat skins built into the hull.
Goat skins?
To fill with water, old chap. Some people cannot grasp the most rudimentary principles of mechanics.
Father.
What is this?
It is quite simple. When they fill with water, the vessel submerges.
Father.
Ah, perhaps you'd be more interested in my hot air balloon. It might be easier for you to understand. As it is established that hot air expands, given a certain volume...
Father, I insist that you tell this immigrant who you are.
Are you not Sir Samuel Tony, the man who designed Le Fort?
I design stockades. My speciality is offensive weaponry, sir.
I think we got the wrong man. Well, he came off the boat. Yeah, but this one is a dingbat.
Who is this imposter, Clements?
It's a long story, General.
Real long.
I, sir, am Sir Samuel Peacham, better known to your superiors as Centurion.
Sergeant! Put the prisoner in irons! Not him, you fool! Him!
Do you dare to lay a hand on the subject of the king?
Gotta admit, she's spunky. Now, General, I allow as how that Gabe and me, we might have made a small mistake, but we might be able to trade him to the British for that other dingbat.
I spent a winter at Valley Forge. I was with them at Bunker Hill, Saratoga. How much does France owe America?
But isn't Fort Tony their objective, Colonel?
A ruse, General. They obviously intended us to find this map. Oh, they'll make a try for the fort, but only to mask their real intent, the capture of Yorktown.
A dazzling introduction, Colonel. But you're asking me to evacuate the entire complement at Fort Tony?
Sir, by removing these troops to the mouth of the river, we can form a pincer that can crush these rebels once and for all.
A brilliant maneuver, if it succeeds.
If it does, sir, you will be a very big man in the establishment.
I shall order the immediate withdrawal of the entire garrison of Fort Tawney.
Excellent, sir.
Impossible. They are leaving the fort defenseless. Mes amis, I do not pretend to comprehend American strategy, but you have devised a military miracle.
Well, we just figured it'd be easier like that.
Oh, I cannot wait to tell Lafayette.
My pass.
Oh!
War's heck.
Travel and travel for many a mile, for many a mile we roam. Long, long days and cold, cold nights, it's good to be back home. And it's good to be back home.
You mean you and Gabe ran the Redcoats out of Fort Tawney single-handed?
Israel, when you're outnumbered like we was, now you can't outfight them. So we outthought them.
What was the scariest part?
Getting away from Lady Peachum, I think. I never saw a woman take to me like that. I sure hope that child gets over me quick like. Oh, I brought you a present, Israel.
What is it?
Well, that's a genuine rocket.
Gosh, gee, thanks. When'd you have time to make it?
Between running off from Lady Peachum and taking the fort.
I hope me and Gabe didn't give you no anxious minutes, sir.
About taking Fort Tawney single-handed? Never gave it a thought.